coming to you guys with another update about my sweet neighbor, Mr. Bob's wife's books. I now have 6 bags of the books, 6 out of 16 bags of her books. And I just wanted to come to you guys with an update and an idea that was kind of brewing for me. So today I got 4 more bags. They are full. We have 4 huge bags of books. They are all Black authors, and my idea is to start like a virtual Black authored bookstore. So what I think I'm gonna do is do a couple of videos a week on different books from out this collection, and maybe read the synopsis of the book, read the first chapter, maybe just the first line to see if you want to get into it. Tell you all the things that are in, like, she would just stuff personal stuff in the books. A lot of the books are from the 90s and early 2000s. Some are actually from the 80s as well. But I really think it would be a cool idea to like open a virtual bookstore of sorts. So me introducing the book to you, and then if you're interested, you can buy the book, or I can just send you the book. I was thinking of maybe like checking out the current prices for media mail with USPS, and then you just send me the current price for media mail, and then I'll send you the book if you're interested in it. One thing that drew me to these books was when I first got the first 2 bags a month and a half ago. The first book I picked up out of the first bag was Sister Souljah, The Coldest Winter Ever. And if you know, you know. That was my favorite book in high school. There's a bunch of Zane books in here. There's like self-help books. There's nutrition books, all authored by African Americans. And I thought that was so cool. But then when I started looking through the books, like I said, she had receipts, she had budgets, she had classes, she had notes from classes. She wasn't a teacher. I asked him. But she just had so much stuff, and I feel like the books really told a story about her, and I'm really interested to look in the books that I just got today. But I feel like this could be a cool story, like a vintage Black bookstore. I just think it could be dope. I think it could be dope. If you are interested, if you think it's a cool idea, let me know, because I feel like we can add this to this channel. But yeah, I just think this is a dope idea. I feel like I could really tell her story, or it's so cool because she's not here to tell her own story. So why shouldn't I like figure out what her story was, and then maybe get some cameos from Mr. Bob next door? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, but I just think that's such a cool idea. And yeah, that's what I think I want to do. So let me know if you have any interest, and then we'll go from there. Child, like, I got time to be doing this, but I just think this is so fucking interesting. Good morning, everybody. All right, so I got a book of the month today, and I have not ordered book of the month in probably, I don't know, it's been probably like 6 months. I stopped ordering them because I started having too many books that I wasn't really getting through last year. So that's where most of my TBR comes from. But I wanted to open this one with you guys because they had some kind of deal where if I signed up again, then I would get my first book for like $4. So I signed up again because they had some interesting books. I wanted to get 2, but I was like, my TBR is already thriving around here. So this is a book of the month box. You usually pay I think it's $15.99 per month for a book. It always comes with the bookmark, which is really cool. It says I'm in my villain era. It always comes with the bookmark. You get 1 book for your subscription fee, which is $15.99, but then you can add on books for the regular price of the book. So I got this book today. It is The Connollys of County Down. This book is about 3 or 4 siblings. One comes from jail, one is like a single mom, one is a little brother or something like that, who are all adults living in their parents' home and trying to just get through life. It seemed really interesting. It seems like there's some mysteries and twists and turns in here. So I picked it up. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'm going to read it this month. So far this month, I'm still reading the initial book about the girls in the woods. And then my book club is reading Breathless by, I think it's Julie McCullough, and maybe I'll add this one on. I'm not sure, but I'll let you guys know how it is when I do crack it open. Thanks, bye. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm looking like an old maid, but I finally wanted to give you information about Gal, A True Life. So, as you can see, this book was originally $19.95, and Mrs. Bob paid $8.98 at Hooked on Books, which must have been a bookstore. It says it is first edition, and the cover is pretty worn. It definitely has some love, okay? But if you take the cover off, you can see Gal written down here. And the book is like in perfect condition. So this book is a memoir. It seems like it's a really good book because it has 4.07 stars on Goodreads. It's a memoir. It's written by Ruthie Bolton. This is not her real name. This was like a name that was made up in her adult years. And the foreword was done by Josephine Humphreys, which is a friend. They actually were born in the same year and grew up in the same location. So I'm gonna read the synopsis of the book. It's a pretty like hard book. It reminds me kind of, what's that book? Is it like The Only Black Girl or it's something about like The Only Black Girl. I'll try to put a picture up, but the cover just reminds me of like Southern living back in like the 60s. Okay, so let's read it. Ruthie Bolton was born January 6, 1961 in the Hungry Neck section of Charleston, South Carolina. At the time, her mother was 13. Oh my gosh. She never knew who her father was. Her mother was the wandering type, so Ruthie, named Gal by her step-grandmother or her step-grandfather, was raised in her grandparents' home. One day, Grandma died as a result of a severe beating from her husband, so her grandfather was abusive. It occurred to no one to call this to the attention of the authorities, and Gal was left in the brutal hands of her grandfather, who also beat her unmercifully. I'm making up words. Ruthie began to steal things in school and developed a stutter. She drank and smoked dope, but she resolutely stuck with her education and graduated from high school, which was likely her salvation. For today, Ruthie is happily married with children and a fine job. At least she is at peace with herself and even with the memory of her grandfather. It is nigh impossible to convey the astonishingly eloquent simplicity of Ruthie's witnessing to her time. Here is an absolutely remarkable document, as touching as it is painful, as ageless as it is timely. So she grew up in an abusive household. In the synopsis on Goodreads, it says that her husband was her salvation. She met a man who showed her what love is. So Ruthie was out here in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s talking about my man. Okay? So if you want to check this out, please do so. I'm basically giving them away. So if you're in the Philadelphia area, you can have Gal. If you are not in the Philadelphia area, I don't know, cash at me $5. I'll put my cash app up here or something. Or DM me and we'll figure out a way to get you this book. I think Media Mail is around $5 now. So DM me, we'll figure out a way to get you this book. But this is the first one in Mr. Bob's wife's vintage black bookstore. And the next one will be coming soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Book haul.
You guys, Mr. Bob dropped off the rest of the books. Look at this. There's not 16, there's like 20 bags of books. Look at this cute little children's book. I'm literally in love. I can't wait to go through these. Hey y'all, today I made a loaf of soap. This is our Urban Baby Naturals Yoni bar. And I also made a loaf of bread because I just be out here momming. So yeah, try to make some stuff from scratch. It's actually a lot of fun. And I made a whole business doing it.
This is something in common. Something in common is a doozy. There's a mother and 3 daughters. One of the daughters find out that she's an outsider, so she's a half sibling, and she cooks up this scheme with the mom to marry one of the other daughters' first loves, and it just turns into a whole shit show. There's a second chance romance in this one, and there's just a family riff. I don't know. Seems a little bit crazy, but did it? And do they still do this in stores?
Honey, I started laughing when I saw this because Amanda looks fed up. And then I was like, this looks just like the Oregon Trail. Open the first page and there's a map of the Oregon Trail. So basically, this is the story of Amanda. She finds herself out on the Oregon Trail, poorly clothed, and she has to figure it out like everybody else. And as always, I'm obsessed with this book ordering system in the back of the books. But if you would like this one, if you read Amanda, if you want to read Amanda, let me know, DM me, and get shipping information.
Happy Saturday, lovely people. So today, my book of the month for August came, and I'm super excited because it is a new author that I've never read before. They always have really cool bookmarks, and I always use them because I love them. The book that I chose is called None of This Is True, and it is by Lisa Jewell. I've never read Lisa Jewell books before, but I heard that she's a great author. The book came and looks really nice. Book of the month is like, they went up in price. It used to be $15. Now it's like $17. But y'all see those little watermarks there on the back cover? I never had a problem with it coming damaged or weird, but this one's a little weird. But let's use